And you're on your own.
Well, just do the first.
It's cut off. So I don't know why it's cut off. It's not the end of it.
Good morning.
With the bar.
Well, we
Shabbat Shalom.
I'll just
changes to you.
Can I ask you please to take your seats? And if anyone's got an empty seat next to them, can you raise your hand so we know where we can slot people in? Excellent. Thanks very much. You know where the exits are if the need arises. So, I would ask you please to turn your phones off, please. And at the end of the service, given there are so many people here, we'd be hugely grateful if you'd bring your prayer books out with you and hand them in. Can I ask you please to stand?
Shabbat Shalom, good morning. It's wonderful to see so many of you here. Our many members who are here as on a regular Shabbat, but of course also family and friends who are here to celebrate Eliza's bat mitzvah. And if this is the first time you are in a synagogue or in a liberal synagogue, the first time using this prayer book, then please know we do have a choir and we have lots of wonderful musicians, but they're not there to sing for you, they're there to sing with you. So even if you're not 100% familiar with the tune or the words, feel free to join in the singing, feel free to join in the reading. Normally in this prayer book, things that are read communally are indicated with italic writing. I will announce the page numbers as often as I feel there is a need. If you feel like you've totally lost your page, either peek over into your neighbor's prayer book or look really lost at me. And hopefully I'll catch your eye and then I will announce the page number from the front. So it's really supposed to be a service where we join together, where we celebrate together, and I invite you to join in with as much as you feel comfortable. Our service begins on page 117, page 117. seated. And I should have said earlier, it's a very warm, stuffy morning, so if you do feel like you would like to take your jackets off, then do feel free to do so. And there is some water outside if you feel that you need some water. So we continue together at the bottom of the page. We thank you, O God, for this new day, for morning sun and evening star, for flowering of tree and flowing of tide, for life-giving rains and cooling breezes, for the changing seasons, for the cycle of growth and decay, of life and death. We awake and behold a new day. O God, renew us unto life. Teach us to recognize your presence in creation. Grateful for your gifts, may we dedicate all our powers to you. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for eyes to see. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for clothes to wear. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the joy of freedom. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the power to rise. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for providing for all our needs. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for daily renewing our strength. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, המהולל בפי עמו משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידיו ועבדיו. בשבחות ובזמירות נגדרך ונמליכך, מלכנו יחיד חי העולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך מהולל בתשבחות. With the coming of day and night, I will enter the covenant of God. And when evening and morning depart, I will recite God's decrees. God Most High, you are my righteousness. You teach me goodness. You are the fountain of knowledge, the dwelling place of holiness, and the summit of glory. Eternal might and majesty are yours. I will choose whatever you teach me, gladly accepting your judgments. As soon as I move my hands and feet, I will praise your name. When I go out and when I come in, when I lie down and when I rise up. When I rest on my bed, I will sing your praise. And in the company of my friends, I will praise you with the words of my mouth. Olezame la shimcha elyon, stand. ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ. כי לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שיר ושבחה, הלל וזמרה, ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בשירי זמרה. We continue together on page 135 at the bottom, page 135. Please be seated. We continue together on the top of page 136 with the blessing for creation. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, Maker of light and Creator of darkness, Author of peace and Creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, Creator of light. Ahava rabba ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu. Chemla gdola v'terachamalta aleinu. Avinu malkeinu, ba'avur avotenu shebatchu v'cha. V'telamdem chukei chayim, ken techonenu utelamdenu. V'ten belibenu lehavin ulehaskil. Lishmoa lilmod ulelamed. Lishmoa v'la'asot ulekayem et kol divrei toratecha be'ahava. V'ha'erenenu b'toratecha. V'dabek libenu b'mitzvotecha. V'yached levavenu le'ahava ulira et shemecha. Kivanu v'achata liyachedecha be'ahava. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Would you please rise?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. You may be seated. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Amot tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotav, v'hitem kedoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzetti yadechem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני, אני אדוני, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אני אדוני, אני אדוני, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Good and beautiful and true, sound and established and enduring are these words now and forever. True it is, Eternal One, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו. Please rise for Hatfilah, the main prayer, on page 140. Na 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 Adonai, na 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 Sefatai Tifta. Na 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 Ufiagi, Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 sefatai tifta. Na 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 ufi agi te ilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 sefatai tifta. Na 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 ufi agi te ilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך. כבודו מלא עולם. ממקומך מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, hallelujah. From generation to generation, we will make known your greatness. To the end of time, we will proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O our God, shall never depart from our lips. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. You may be seated. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to your influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
Shalom.
God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Chetzeh Adonai Eloheinu, B'amcha Yisrael, Utfilatam be'ahava tekabel, Utehi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael hamecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Sheotecha levadecha, B'yirah na'avod. And together we give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Grant peace, welfare, and blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, a love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people, Israel, and all peoples, be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We'll take some time for silent prayer. We've now reached the Torah service, the highlight of our service. If you want to be able to follow the reading along, Eliza will be reading the translation, so you don't have to in order to understand. Then you need to pick up a Chumash, which is the bigger book. The page numbers are given on the little leaflet. If you didn't pick one as you were coming in, there might still be some left with the shamas at the door, and otherwise in our community room, the shamas at the door can show you where that is. There will be additional copies. So if you do want to follow along with the reading, then you need to pick up the bigger book. It won't be in your normal prayer book. So it's now my pleasure to invite Eliza and her family to join me on the upper bimah as we turn to the Torah service on page 481. On page 481, there is none like you, Eternal One, among the gods people worship, and there are no deeds like yours. Your sovereignty is everlasting, your reign endures from age to age. Please stand. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Gadlu Adonai iti, unavamamo shemo yachtav. Please be seated. Eliza will begin with the prayer by the Bat Mitzvah. If you want to follow that along, it's on page 591 in your prayer book.
In the presence of this congregation, which represents the Jewish people all over the world, I give thanks for what I have learned of my Jewish heritage and promise to go on studying it in the years ahead. So may I come to understand ever more deeply and carry out more fully the duties that flow from it. I think of all those who, in past ages, have preserved the Jewish faith and declared their loyalty to it, as I do today. I thank my parents and my family, my teachers and my friends, and all who have helped me to reach this day. And I pray to God, guide me and keep me strong, so that I may fulfill the high hopes that rest on me.
Amen.
Amen.
Parents come in.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kimanu v'kiyanu lazman hazeh.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, that you have kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season.
My Torah portion today is Numbers 22, and I will be reading verses 21 to 35. My portion follows the journey of Balaam, son of Beor, when he goes to curse the people of Israel as commanded by Balak, son of Zippor. Today I will be reading from the Colleen Scroll. I chose to read from this Torah scroll as I feel that it represents both a link to generations who have read from this Torah scroll before me and to communities elsewhere. Baruch hu et Adonai, HaMevorach,
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher ba'obanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
When he rose in the morning, Balaam saddled his ass and departed with the Moabite dignitaries. But God was incensed at his going, so an angel of the Eternal One placed himself in his way as an adversary. He was riding on his she-ass with his 2 servants alongside, when the ass caught sight of the angel of the Eternal One standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand. The ass swerved from the road and went into the fields, and Balaam beat the ass and turned her back onto the road. When the angel of the Eternal One stationed himself in a lane between the vineyards, with a fence on either side, the ass, seeing the angel of the Eternal One, pressed herself against the wall and squeezed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he beat her again. Once more, the angel of the Eternal One moved forward and stationed himself in a spot so narrow that there was no room to swerve right or left. When the ass now saw the angel of the Eternal One, she lay down under Balaam, and Balaam was so furious that he beat the ass with his stick. Then the Eternal One opened the ass's mouth, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the ass, "You have made a mockery of me. If I had a sword with me, I'd kill you." The ass said to Balaam, "Look, I am the ass that you have been leading all along until this day. Have I been in the habit of doing thus to you?" And he answered, "No." Then the Eternal One uncovered Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Eternal One standing in the way, his drawn sword in his hand. Thereupon he bowed, right down to the ground. The angel of the Eternal One said to him, "Why have you beaten your ass these 3 times? It is I who came out as an adversary. The errand is obnoxious to me." And when the ass saw me, she shied away because of me those 3 times. If she had not shied away from me, you are the one I should have killed, while sparing her. Balaam said to the angel of the Eternal One, "I erred because I did not know that you were there, that you were standing in my way. If you still disapprove, I will turn back." But the angel of the Eternal One said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but you must say nothing except what I tell you." So Balaam went on with Balak's dignitaries. ויקום בלעם בבוקר, ויהבוש את אסונו, וילך עם שרי מואב, ויהאף אלוהים, כי הולכו, ויתייצב מלאך אדוני, בדרך לשטן לו, והוא רהב על אתונו, ושני נעריו עמו, ותרא האתון, את מלאך אדוני ניצב בדרך, והבור שליפה בידו, ותט האתון מן הדרך, ותלך בשדה. ויך בלעם את האתון להטות הדרך, ויעמוד מלאך אדוני במשעול הכרמים, קדם מזה וקדם מזה. ותרא האתון את מלאך אדוני, ותלהט אל הקיר, ותלחץ את רגל בלעם אל הקיר, ויוסף להכותה, ויוסף מלאך אדוני יבוא, ויעמוד במקום שר, אשר אין זרע לנטות ימין ושמאל. ותרא האתון את מלאך אדוני, ותבט תחת בלעם, ויהאף בלעם, Vayach et ha'atom b'makel, vayavtach Adonai et pi ha'atom. V'tomer bil'am asiti laha, ki hikatani ze shalosh galim. Vayomer bil'am laton, ki hitalalt bi, luyesh chayref biadi, ki ata harakti. V'tomer ha'aton el bil'am halu, anechi atonaha asher ahavta alai. Meyodaha at hayom hazer, haskein hiskanti la'asot lecha kol. Vayomer lo, vaykal Adonai, et einei bil'am, vayah et malach Adonai nitzav b'derech, chabo shlifa bi'ado, ve'kod v'yeshechu le'apav. Vayomer elav malach Adonai, alma, hikita et atonecha, ze shalosh galim. Hine anachi et sati l'satan, ki arat haderet lenegdihi, v'ta'ani ha'aton, v'teit lefanai, ze shalosh galim, utlain et atam epanai. Ki ata, gamotacha harti v'ota chechayiti. Vayomer bil'am amalach Adonai yatati, ki lo yadati, ki ata nitzab lakrati b'darach, v'ata imra b'einecha ushiba li. Vayomer malach Adonai el bil'am, le'im ha'anashim ve'efes et hadavar asher ataber elecho ben vayelech bil'am im sarai balak. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasa lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. If I could invite you to rise as we lift the Torah scroll. We're on page 483. Please be seated. Strong cousin.
So, what does this portion actually mean? A talking donkey? I haven't had one of those since Donkey and Shrek. The donkey in my Torah portion is an important feature, as effectively this portion is a parable, as are many other stories in the Torah. For many years, animals have been featured in parables, but why a donkey? Some people may see this as a poor choice in animal selection because, as it may be obvious, a donkey is not perceived to be the most intelligent animal by far. But as this is a parable, there must be a reason behind why it is featured in the Torah. It may be because it exaggerates how much more spiritually aware and less stubborn Balaam should be than a donkey. Why does Balaam appear to be more stubborn than a donkey? Why can't he see what's standing literally right in front of him? Maybe it was greed. After his first refusal, Balak bribed Balaam with the reward. This then coerced Balaam to go through with his mission to curse the people of Israel. His greed then caused some sort of selective blindness to the angel, that here represents the ill-conceived notion that the people of Israel should be cursed in the first place. I suspect Balaam's inability to see the angel was a form of willful blindness motivated by greed. Goethe, the 18th century German writer, once said, "The hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes." This is exactly the right quote to relate to my Torah portion, as Balaam didn't see what is in front of his eyes as he was being blinded by greed. I thought of some more contemporary examples, one of them being so much of the world's denial about climate change. A lot of the world, including Donald Trump, who plays a big part in this, can't see that they are destroying their world a bit more each day because of their greed for gain of money through oil, cars, and many other things that contribute towards climate change. Another example is the Enron scandal, where shareholders lost $74 billion from fraudulent and corrupt trading purely because Enron execs were blind to the welfare of their thousands of employees. Now, how does this relate to me? Mum, Dad, you'll like this. I hate to admit it, but I have an addiction to my phone. And I bet many of you in my generation also have an addiction to your phones. I know you probably won't believe me when I tell you that you're addicted to that tiny little brick of metal and glass that you carry around most of the time. But why is that? Why can't most of us see that we have a terrible addiction that can in fact cause nerve damage or even brain tumours, as well as damaging our society? I believe that my portion just proves that we can't see what's right in front of us because we are scared to admit the truth to ourselves, or we are afraid of losing what we have out of greed. George Orwell wrote, "To see what is in front of one's nose needs a constant struggle." Maybe Balaam needed the constant struggle getting past his greed, and we need the constant struggle getting past this fear of FOMO, fear of missing out, so we can look past our addiction to our mobile phones and focus on properly and positively connecting with each other. My Haftarah portion is chapter 6, verses 1 to 8 from the book of Micah. It relates to my Torah portion as it references the events that take place in my portion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher baha b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem han'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah uv Moshe abdo uv Yisrael amu uv'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Hear what the Eternal One is saying. Come, present my case before the mountains, and let the hills hear you pleading. Hear, you mountains, the case of the Eternal One, you firm foundations of the earth. If the Eternal One has a case against God's people, God has a suit against Israel. My people, what wrong have I done you? What hardship have I caused you? Testify against me. In fact, I brought you up from the land of Egypt. I redeemed you from the house of bondage, and I sent before you Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. My people, remember what Balak king of Moab plotted against you, and how Balaam son of Beor responded to him. Recall your passage from Shittim to Gilgal, and you will recognize the gracious acts of the Eternal One. With what shall I approach the Eternal One? Do homage to God on high? Shall I approach God with burnt offerings, with calves year old? Would the Eternal One be pleased with thousands of rams, with myriads of streams of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for my sins? God has told you, O mortal, what is good, and what the Eternal One requires of you, only to do justice, and to love goodness, and to walk modestly with your God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzol kol ha'olamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh hamtapeh u'nkayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanbi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatah lanu Adonai Eloheinu lekdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarechim otah yitbarach shemcha b'fi kol hay tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Yasher koach. If I could invite you all to stand as we turn to page 484 to the prayers for the Queen, for our community, and for the state of Israel.
Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity.
Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter the synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us, and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed, and may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will.
Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem. Amen.
On the next page, on page 486, Yihalelu et Shem Adonai, ki nizgav shemo levado. Liza, what a privilege it is to stand here in front of the open ark and to give you a special blessing on the occasion of your bat mitzvah. You did the most difficult thing, not the reading the Torah, the obstacle course that is navigating this wonderfully full sanctuary, and how wonderful it really is to see you celebrating here with so many family members, friends of your parents, of your grandparents, and really, of course, also your community. Because you truly are a member of this community. You regularly contribute what the really special thing that you have to offer for us by bringing your music into our services. And anyone who hasn't yet had the opportunity should absolutely make sure to be here on a Friday night when you bring your talent to enrich our service. And it's wonderful to see the sparkle on your talit, because you truly bring sparkle to Judaism. And so we pray to God to grant you blessing on the occasion of your bat mitzvah. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov, ve'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel veLeah. Hu yevarech et bat hamitzvah Alisa bat Yaakovav, she'alta laTorah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you who, having reached the age of bat mitzvah, have come up to the Torah. May you, Eliza, continue to study our heritage and take its teachings to heart and pass the teaching and the music on to future generations, so that you may truly be, as you are today, a source of pride to your family and your friends, and truly a worthy member of our community. And so we ask for God's blessing with these ancient words. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God reach out to you in tenderness and give you peace. Amen. A little bit closer. We're on page 489, and as I hand you the scroll, it looks heavier than it is. I say to you, behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. May all be seated. Congratulations.
So it's my privilege to be asked to preach today, having known the family, I suppose, for over 50 years. And wonderful to see 3 generations of the family here and several generations of so many other families who I've known during that half century. And it's wonderful to be here. I want to start with the moon. It's always been mysterious. Vital, of course, if for nothing else, to the Jewish calendar. And traditionally, we've been urged to observe the moon at least once a month to see the beauty of the new crescent by which we have marked time and arranged our calendar. And I don't know about you, but looking up on Tuesday night, as the TV celebrations continued of Armstrong's first heavenly footprint 50 years ago, the otherwise full moon looked more mysterious than ever as it was in a partial eclipse. One half was yellow and the other half black. And I wondered if Armstrong's footprint remains on the dark side or the bright side of that eclipsed moon. At least the lunar musings have distracted us from the earthly political sense, though events in America might certainly be called loony. The cravenness of the Republican politicians refusing to condemn Trump's racist remarks, either anxious to win favor with him or a sign of their deep racist beliefs. It seems strange to me that the American political parties are represented by animals, the Republicans by an elephant and the Democrats by a donkey. Is there a more silly ass than Trump? Outrageous and yet troubling. Let's hope if a clown takes over the Conservative Party, he can curb his tendency to unwise, flippant statements. The question of suspicion of dual loyalties should have been especially troublesome to Jews. How often has the charge against us been, especially since the birth of Zionism? Arab politicians urging Israelis to go back home to America, when most originated in Poland and recently from Russia, and of course, so many from Arab lands, where their ancestors have lived for millennia until they were thrown out. For me, the second best thing about the World Cricket Cup final, that is after England actually winning through a bizarre fluke, was the most impressive thing that I saw on television at least, were the hordes of supporters of England that clearly originated from Africa, Pakistan, and the Caribbean. Yes, you can support two teams and be loyal to both. We Jews have known this since the prophet Jeremiah urged the exiles in Babylon to build houses, plant gardens, and pray for the peace of the city where you are dwelling, to settle down and thrive, though always to dream of Zion, even if you have no intention of going to live there. Since biblical days, Jews have been wanderers, immigrants, refugees, in many a generation and in many a country. Sadly, most of the wanderings have been caused by persecution or poverty, but wherever we have settled down, we have enriched the country. When expelled, that country has always been impoverished. Maybe it's my age, probably is my age, but I do daily look at the obituaries in the Times. Did you see the superb one this week to the late Rabbi David Goldberg? But I'm intrigued and maybe should do a serious survey. For I'm convinced that at least a fifth of those so honored have been Jewish. And so often they were refugees who have enriched this country, made contributions in all fields, science, arts, financial, humanitarian work. Unless I'm accused of being too chauvinistic, I also note the increasing contributions made by newer immigrants who increasingly, again out of all proportion to their numbers, seem to be making advances in medicine, science, journalism, and so on. But America is a nation of immigrants, and we must add our voice in decrying the rhetoric of Donald Trump. I will not call him president, for he demeans the office, and words and thoughts of those similar to his views in his country and sadly in our country. And as we battle against the spread of anti-Semitism and other forms of racism, spawned by social media but prompted by politicians or would-be politicians, we are surely aware of where such trends lead. Never again, it was said, we can believe it could so easily happen again. But going back to the moon, or rather the calendar, One of the things liberal Judaism did from its inception in 1902 was to abolish the second day of festivals, going back to the biblically ordained number. A strange thing has happened in this very synagogue. And for the second time, we have read the same Torah portion twice. Last Shabbat, our member, Robin Moss, gave a brilliant sermon on the portion, exploring the theological implications, and it was a better sermon than this one. But do read his sermon on the website. But no worries, Eliza. You read brilliantly, or sang brilliantly, a different section to last week. And I will focus on another theme that it brings up, and another theme from the one that you explored in your Dvar Torah. For me, when I read that story, the thing that comes out is the quality, the ability to change your mind when you realize you were wrong. Bilam probably, I think, all along was wary of what he was asked to do. And yes, the money changed his mind and he decided to go. And even that when the donkey tried to teach him the fact that he was wrong, he couldn't bring himself to change tack, as you pointed out. There was too much at stake. Maybe the money, but above that his reputation as an ace cursor, his connections with royalty. After all, when a king or a president or a prime minister invites you to do a chore and accept a title, even if you are a chief cursor, it's hard to resist. But in the end, Bilam did realize that he was wrong. He overcame the threat to his reputation, his royal connections, and having his eyes opened, admitted his mistake, and reversed his action, and blessed instead of doing what he was expected to do. Who knows if his curse would have worked, but his blessing certainly did. Ma tova ohalecha Yaakov. We repeat it every Shabbat, and some start their morning prayers with it every day of the year. He said, how good they are, your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. It was not just the realization that he must change his mind that we should applaud in Bilam, but the fact that when his eyes were opened, he could see the good in people. Eliza, you just come back from a trip from Vienna, playing in the school orchestra and singing in the choir. Playing and singing is something this past year or so you have blessed our services here at Northwood with, using your talents to help us all to enjoy the service. To see you playing alongside your father has given me the greatest joy, for it is typical of the essence of liberal Judaism that we can include all who wish to contribute, be they Jewish or not. And remember, Bilam was not an Israelite, but his words of blessing we hold dear. To liberal Judaism, Eliza, your family have been so long committed, and we pray that you will carry this tradition for generations to come. Well, today's Haftarah, the portion you read, ended with Micah's inspiring words that could sum up the aspirations of liberal Judaism. What is required of us to do justice, to love goodness, and to walk humbly with our God. But the full Haftarah opens with Micah's prediction for our people, and it seems so apposite to what I'm saying. He said in the opening of the passage, Judah shall be in the midst of many peoples, like dew from the Eternal One, like showers on the grass. Indeed, it has been our fate to live in many countries, and we have enriched those countries wherever we have lived. This may be a cause for pride, but not for boasting. Rather, with humility, let us add Bilam's experience that we need to speak out, to speak the truth, to seek justice, not just for ourselves, but for all peoples who are maligned. And at this very moment, speak out loudly against those who spout words of curse and not blessing, who encourage hatred and not love, dissension and not harmony, suspicion and not peace. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Andrew. And we turn now to our concluding prayers on page 520. If I could ask you to rise for the Aleinu. Page 520. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס סולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule, when all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honor. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the Eternal One shall reign forever. As we worship before you, O God, we think of those who once shared with us the joys and burdens of life, and who are no longer in our midst. On this Shabbat, we think especially of those whose yahrzeit falls at this time. Albert Michael de Grasse, the father of Susan Morris. Daphne Lyons, the wife of Jack, mother of Ian, Ross, and Sandy. Emma Claire Edelman, the daughter of David and Sandy Edelman. Gurcharan Saran, mother of Suki Latta, grandmother of Taran Avital and Zachary. Ruth Fryer, the mother of Avril Whitty and sister of Brian Sass. Sarah Wolfe, the mother of Alan Wolfe. Vera Nador, the friend of Mimi Konigsberg. And we regret to announce the recent death of Phil Colton, the husband of Jill, father of Emma and Jake. The sorrow of bereavement is softened by the bond of love, which continues to unite us with our dear ones, and by our cherished memories we have of them, which we will always carry in our hearts. May all that was good in their lives remain with us as an influence for good. O God, grant consolation to those who are in sorrow, and light to those in darkness. Teach us at all times to put our trust in you, and to praise your name, as we recite the Kaddish on page 524 together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chiotei v'yamlich malchotei, v'chai yochon v'yom echon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, גם איראן בלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם ואמרו amen. May great peace descend from heaven and abundant life be granted to us and all Israel, and let us say amen. May be seated. In a moment, we're going to bring in the Kiddush. So we're going to do the blessings over the bread and wine here. So hopefully the wine glasses will magically appear to come to all of you. You might have to help us a little bit of passing it down the row. We'll conclude with Od Yavo at Eliza's request, which is not in the book, but it's not so complicated, so you'll be able to join in. And before I invite our president, Spencer Cohen, to the Bima and Eliza to do a little presentation, just wanted to make a few announcements. In order to celebrate together with the Bike Project the fact that they have given away their 5,000th bike to a refugee, we thought this is a wonderful opportunity to invite everyone that, to remind everyone that we are a collection hub for the Bike Center. So if you are feeling inspired by the nice summer and you're replacing your bicycle, then do consider donating your old one to us here at the synagogue, which will be handed over to the Bike Project and refurbished and given to refugees. They accept all bikes in whatever condition, even if they're no longer working. They will make the most out of the bikes, and it's really a wonderful, simple and practical way to help refugees, and maybe do our little bit to also acknowledge that these are people who maybe will make a unique contribution to our country. So it'll be a wonderful way to share a bicycle with them. And just as we have, as it's so much in the news, we have on Tisha B'Av on the 10th of August a special adult education event before our Tisha B'Av service. So 10th of August at 8 p.m. we will be welcoming Peter Mason, who will be talking to us about the inquiry into anti-Semitism into the Labour Party that the Equality and Human Rights Commission are carrying out. Peter is actually the representative of the Jewish Labour Movement who collated all the evidence that the Jewish Labour Movement submitted to the inquiry. So he'll be able to give us really an insider view. It doesn't cost to come, it's open to everyone, but it would be helpful if you could let the office know if you're planning to come, just because we're trying to get a sense of numbers to know whether we need to have this many chairs or half as many or whatever. So that's on the 10th of August at 8 p.m. Now it's my privilege to invite our president, Spencer, up together with Eliza for a small presentation.
I'm going to be talking this way, even though I'm actually talking to you. I've been ordered to speak into the microphone. So yes, it was absolutely splendid what you did this morning. If you've never seen a Torah scroll, there are no vowels in it. There are just letters, and there are no musical notes in it. So what Eliza did was quite a feat. And in my goodie bag, I have a voucher for a trip that you'll do in the future to Israel. So I thought it would, your Torah portion will be of absolutely no use to you in Israel. For example, you read Halo Anochi Atoncha. I was your ass, and that's not going to be much use in Israel. So I thought I would give you I'm not going to take a long time, don't worry. I thought I'd give you just a few words. Apart from that, Atoncha, in the, as it has no vowels in it, the word iton means a newspaper, so itoncha could be your newspaper. I have been your newspaper, instead of I have been your ass. A few words. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 words of Hebrew and then a sentence that has taken me up and down Israel many times and without trouble. So the first word, of course, is shalom, which you know means hello, and you have to sing it. You're on music, you have to say shalom, okay? It's a third. And the next word is bavakasha, which means bavakasha, which means please. And the next word is toda, which means thank you. And so the sentence that I am going to tell you, which has helped me up and down Israel, is the following. It rhymes. It's bavakasha ani rotza glida, which means, tell me, it means, please, I want an ice cream. So that's the sentence. Bavakasha ani rotza. Rotza is the feminine. As I'm a geezer, I would say ani rotze glida. So you say bavakasha ani rotza glida. Got it? Okay. Or you could say ani rotza glidat vanilli. I want a vanilla ice cream. Or ani rotza glidat chocolate. I want a chocolate ice cream. Okay, so you're okay for going to, when you go to Israel. And why was I up here? Yes, I've got to give you. I nearly forgot. So may I present you, on behalf of North London Liberal Synagogue, this goodie bag, which has in it a bat mitzvah card. It has in it a voucher for your eventual trip to Israel, and it has. Most boring of all, it has a machzor, which you can use on the high holy days if there's nothing good on television. Okay, so there we are. And I like the and Mazel Tov. Thank you.
Mazel Tov. Thank you, Spencer. And we're going to conclude with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo 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 Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam, Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, Salam, Salam, Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, salam, salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. If I could ask you to all stand as we do Kiddush together. And we begin with the blessing of a wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. And our wonderful challah, and we say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom and mazel tov to Eliza. And the Kiddush is next door.
That was just hilarious.
I mean, I just dumped in it.
No, and you know what? Obviously no chart between the two groups.
That's
So
right.
they were doing what they wanted to do and
That's right. And I mean, I spoke to Jonathan before, and that's the only
Yeah, of course.
nudies in the other rehearsal, isn't it? If you've got two quite disparate groups there. Anyway.
Shabbat Shalom.
You know, he only wore Kippar's head protection because he doesn't.
Yes, I know. Absolutely.
I thought my hearing aid was going. It makes a big difference to have the like that.
Yeah.
It does,
I
it's
know,
super.
I'm not able to do it as often as I used to.
It just gives us a much richer.
Yeah, they don't, well, I don't think they value that so much anymore.
Really?
Sure, no. Yeah, I think tomorrow's taken the spot.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. But yeah, with the choir, I think it's fantastic.
No, I've been slightly kicks up, Grace. I love your song, thank you.
I'm sorry.
What?
It's just like, I
No,
know, we could have done with a rehearsal.
Absolutely. I mean, you would never normally do that sort of thing without a rehearsal.
No,
would
I
you?
know. Should have got there
Two
early.
groups who've never met like that.
Next time we'll have to get here early,
Yeah.
maybe get here at half
Yeah.
9 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all. Yeah, probably is. Mickey was reading my
Right.
music, and it was set for her, so I couldn't read it. So I missed the second
see.
verse of.
I know, well, that is fine.
Yeah.
No one died as well, so.
That's right.